Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you can bear with me for 40 seconds, I'm just going to spend a little time with a musical interlude on the theme of climate change. Can you hear that? Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and that weather events have become more extreme. If this world to you is worth saving, then take off your blinkers, snap out of your dream, for the climate is a-changing. Come, leaders of nations, please heed the call. The prophets have said that the hard rain will fall, and we all get hurt if your discussions stall. The moment of truth is arriving. Don't sit on the fence and do nothing at all, for the climate is a-changing. Thank you. 50 years ago, that song was recorded in its original form, and at that time, it was a song for the movement, and it feels that today it's a testimony to the way that community energy has become a gathering movement, and the way that it's moving forward. And it's great to see so many people here this morning to share that vision. And like the people here at Westmill, we're trying to find ways to move that vision forward, to come together and deliver on that vision. And it's great, and I'd like to thank Cooperative Energy for creating this opportunity for us to be together today. Hopefully it will be inspiring and will help motivate us. This is a slide of pioneers. There's the Energy4All board at the top. I'm sure you all recognise who they all are, and down at the bottom is a pioneering project. Energy4All has cooperatives, their ethics and values and principles at its core. And we've been asked this morning just to give a little bit of background about Energy4All as a case history. And it's quite an honour to be asked to do that, because I feel I'm representing a small and dedicated team of people at Energy4All who work hard to try and deliver the company's vision. But also I'm representing thousands of people who've joined Energy4All co-ops and the boards of directors of those co-ops who've stepped forward to make those individual projects successful. And I'll mention some of those projects as I go through. So I'll give a little bit of background about Energy4All and the associated co-ops, and then look forward to where we go from where we are now. In terms of the pioneering project at the bottom, that's the Bay Wind Energy Cooperative, and Energy4All was founded by the Bay Wind Energy Cooperative, the UK's first community-owned renewable energy cooperative. Its 1,300 members raised £1.9 million to purchase 5 turbines at Harlock in Cumbria and a single turbine on another site at Cumbria. And in response to requests from other communities about how they could replicate that success, they took a decision in 2002 to invest in starting up Energy4All. Since then, in the past 10 years, Energy4All has gone on to set up a further 9 co-ops. So we're currently administering and supporting 10 operating co-ops. And I wanted to go through just a few of those as examples this morning. Many of you will be familiar with the Westmill Wind Farm Cooperative near Swindon in South Oxfordshire. 2,500 people came together to become members of that cooperative and raised £4.6 million to deliver 6.5 megawatts of installed wind capacity at that site. It has become, I'm not showing any picture, well there was an earlier picture, but I'm not showing pictures of Westmill because it has become an iconic focus for the community energy movement, and it does a fantastic job promoting and communicating both cooperatives and wind energy. Given its location, it's probably one of the most visited wind farms in the UK, and as part of their cooperative outreach to the community, they've set up a very successful education project which welcomes thousands of visitors to the site each year. But I did want to also touch on other examples of Energy4All's work supporting various co-ops. One of the most recent is the Drumlin Wind Energy Cooperative, which is based in Northern Ireland. And that's the first time that Energy4All has worked to support a co-op in Northern Ireland. And Drumlin raised £2.5 million through its share offer towards the end of last year, and is now partway through the construction of 4 single wind turbines on 4 separate sites. So this is also a unique project whereby the cooperative will own different projects on a number of different sites, all being financed through a single share offer. The reason I'm showing building works, I should say, is that construction is actually ongoing at the moment, and it's hoped that some or all of the turbines will be commissioned by the end of the year. So I think that's the sod cutting event at one of the sites, and then you can see foundations and turbine towers waiting to go up. In Scotland particularly, Energy4All has pioneered a partnership with Falck Renewables to create an opportunity for cooperatives to take a stake in the larger projects of commercial developers. The largest of these projects, the Spirit of Lanarkshire Co-op, currently has its share offer open. And again, uniquely, that cooperative is looking to take a stake in 2 wind farms rather than being associated with one project. The Nutbury wind farm shown on the slide there is 6 turbines, and it's already up and commissioned. And shortly, the West Browncastle project, which is 10 miles away and consists of 12 turbines, construction will finish and it will be commissioned there, and the co-op will take a stake in that operating project. Over this range of different projects, Energy4All has built up significant experience at the larger end of the community energy spectrum. And from that experience, we would encourage communities to think big, notwithstanding the things that have just been said by Gamemnon. There is an opportunity for communities to think about projects. If they're going to put energy and precious volunteer energy and time into projects, it's well worth reflecting on how to deliver the best possible outcome for that energy and effort, and obviously ultimately the financial resource that will be put into those projects. Communities can work to their strengths, maybe looking for sites, engaging with the local community, the wider local community, and liaising with that community, supporting planning applications and with local fundraising. But organisations like Energy4All and other organisations can provide services to those communities where it's needed. So Energy4All, for example, can provide technical input at feasibility stage or for the planning process. We specialise in fundraising through public share offers, and we can help to deliver share offers which provide the capital to build ambitious projects. We can go on then to help with contracting and supporting the operating co-ops. If I just go back to, there's a list, I think, of all the projects we've been involved with and continue to be involved with. And just going back to the cooperative model, the cooperative society model works very well for Energy4All. Energy4All's mission is twofold. It's to help the UK's transition towards a low-carbon economy, and it's to help engage ordinary people in the operation and ownership of renewable energy generation. And the cooperative model works well because it allows mass membership and a democratic control process of those enterprises. It also presents an opportunity to pay a reasonable return for investment and therefore an ability to secure the money necessary for these capital-intensive generation projects. But at the same time, as we've heard already this morning, co-ops think about the community around them, and each of the co-ops will look to engage with its local community in the way that it chooses. The West Mill example I gave earlier sees that co-op looking towards education programmes as a way of engaging with the local community. Uniquely, Energy4All is owned by the co-ops it creates, and that allows an opportunity to facilitate cooperation amongst those cooperatives, so the better established ones can help support the newer ones that are just being set up. And I would just like to mention a couple on there. EP stands for Energy Prospects. Energy Prospects co-op raised £1 million to support the planning phase of energy developments, and so that project has invested in a number of projects which are currently going through the planning application, should they be successful, they will also be cooperatively owned and add to this list of family of co-ops. And not mentioned on there is Share Energy. Energy4All supported and helped to start up Share Energy, and we'll be hearing from John later on. And it's fantastic to see that John, the work that John and his team have done to deliver a number of co-ops since their start-up. That's a whistle-stop tour through the history. And what about the future? We've got a number of projects in development. The top three there are in a similar vein to the Drumlin project. They are projects which are looking to develop a number of single wind turbines on different sites and for the co-ops to own multiple single turbines. You may be aware that the original Harlock Hill site is probably going to be repowered, and so next year we may see the advent of phase 2 of the original Bay Wind Cooperative. And more recently, Energy4All has started working with Hampshire Renewable Energy Co-operative, who are here, I think, somewhere today. And they are looking to take a stake in the Bullington Cross wind farm, which is a large wind farm in the heart of Hampshire being developed by EDF Renewables. I've mentioned a lot about wind, but Energy4All is currently working with West Solent Solar, also in Hampshire. As we try and develop these projects, we do face significant challenges and barriers, to say the least, and there could be a whole list that I would put up, but I did want to touch on one thing, particularly from a wind perspective. We find a significant disconnect between national planning policy, which is supportive of sustainable development and supportive of community-led schemes. There's a significant disconnect between that and the way that the weight is being given to that in local planning decisions. We've had some very, very disappointing decisions taken on some of our projects where there is very little weight given to any sense of sustainable development necessity or the need for community ownership. And that's something that, together with other members of the community energy movement, we're trying to work on with DEC and other regulators and stakeholders. I've whistled through that quite quickly. We are around today with a table outside, so feel free to come and talk to me, and there'll be a chance for questions now. And we are available on the usual tangled web of media. So please get in touch, and thank you very much for your time this morning, and to Cooperative Energy.